Hi everyone and welcome to Fresh from My Garden. This is the drumstick or the Moringa tree from our garden, and every year during springtime it is infected with aphids that infect a lot of plants that are growing beneath the Moringa tree. So last year also I had shared how this Moringa tree had infected the rest of the garden with aphids and how we treated it with diatomaceous earth and neem oil organic pesticide. Moringa is a very beneficial plant, and the leaves, the flowers, and the pods that grow on the tree are used in cooking and have a lot of medicinal benefits. But at the same time, this plant gets infected with aphids every year during the springtime as the plant starts to flower and then infects all the other plants in our garden, creating a lot of trouble for us to clean up. Since we don't use any kind of chemical pesticides in the garden, it's very difficult for us to handle this kind of infestation because it damages all the vegetable and flowering plants in our garden. So, the only thing that we can do is cut off all the branches. And since this tree is really tall and growing in multiple directions, it is really hard to cut all the branches and remove everything so that it doesn't infect our garden. But in the last few years, we've had no other option but to remove all of these branches. And as we have been cutting it down, these aphids fall on to the rest of the plants and also onto us, causing a lot of difficulty in removing these branches. When we follow organic methods of gardening, the only way to deal with such infestations is to prune back the plant completely that is infected so that it doesn't affect the other plants in the garden and damage everything completely. The aphids not just fall onto the leaves of a plant, it also leaves a kind of sticky residue on the leaves of the plant, which you can see here. And it is very difficult to remove this kind of infestation even after spraying neem oil solution multiple times. Since the tree is really tall and it is very difficult for us to clear the infestation from the upper branches, the only method is to cut these branches, and as they fall, they also cause more damage to the other plants in our garden. So now my husband is standing on the fence and trying to remove as many branches as possible. And as it falls down, you can see the amount of heavy infestation on the leaves that has completely destroyed the moringa plant, and along with it, it destroys all the other plants that it falls on and infects all of these plants. So the entire front garden has been affected with the aphids, which is right at the edge of the front garden, and it has been falling onto all the leaves of every single plant and also destroying many of our aquatic plants. Once a big tree like this is infected with pests such as aphids, it automatically spreads to the rest of the plants in the garden. And here you can see in the aquatic tubs there is so much of aphid infestation and it is very hard to remove. Aquatic plants in general have fish in them, and we cannot use any kind of chemicals to remove this kind of infestation. So, this is just an update from our garden to show you how much we are affected by the aphid infestation that affect our garden every year. And in such a case, the only option is to prune back the entire plant and prevent it from damaging the rest of the plants in our garden. I hope you like this update from our garden. Please do watch for more gardening related videos. Thanks for watching Fresh from My Garden.